welcome to Seams. Today I'll be showing you how to do buttonholes. I was asked to give up this tutorial. I hope you enjoy it. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe and check out the rest of the videos I have in my channel. So this is my sewing machine and it comes with buttonholes feet. I'll be showing you how to use it and what are the variety and options you can use this button feet for. So let's get started. So for the button feet I have like I told you so many, so I actually have two. You can always buy them in case one of them broke. So let's start. So for this it comes with so when you adjust it to the machine, this metal part, it need to be in attached to your presser foot. So, and also this green line is very important. That's where you need to have your needle adjusted to this green part. Also this I don't know, like a gauge, it's goes wider and it goes bigger and smaller, or so this is where your button get to be seated, and then according to this button size, then your machine will design the buttonhole based on that. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples with a small button, with a bigger button, and also I will show you how also to attach the button itself. So this is only for the buttonholes. I have another for the button itself. I will be going through that one as well. So when the presser foot moves, it moves back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, designing your buttonhole. And you have a variety of buttonholes that you can use. You can use, if you can see, you can use 34. There's a 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, but 42 I don't use it. It's very, very small and tiny. You can use it for decorative stuff, but I recommend you start from 34 up until 41. They all are very nice, and I always use 35. It depends on your preferences. So this one have a curved edge. This is just a rectangle. Sorry, this is a rectangle with some zigzags in the two sides of it. This is just a straight line. This one is just like you see. It just have like a circle at the end. And same for this one. It looks like a light pole, and same for other one. These are very common in I see them in maybe a shirt, button-up shirt, or maybe in jeans. These ones can also be, this is more common, more than this one in the button-up shirt as well. It depends on what you like to use versus what you're designing, or what the project you're working on. I will show you some examples of each as well. So let's get started. So first thing you do is you get your sewing machine closer and get out the normal foot you have, and there is a button in the back you just need to press and this will fall off, and then you attach your buttonhole foot just like that. You raise your foot, presser foot, and you attach it to the metal part, and there you go, it's already attached. See? So another thing, we want to see what button we are going to work on. So I have a variety of buttons. I'm gonna show you just let's start with a small one. This one, for it's a little bit not too small. Let me find you a little bit smaller so you can see from smaller to bigger. So let's find the other box. There, so we have here a smaller one. I want it to be like colorful one so you can see it. There. So this one is like light blue one. I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah. So, and this is a little bit bigger, and we can go even bigger. We can do this one right there. So, see, this is a little bit bigger, smaller, and smaller. Okay, so we're gonna try the 3 sides. The more you get bigger, it's all the same idea. Once you get one done, then you will be able to figure out the rest. It's very easy. It's nothing hard here. So let's get started. So first of all, you want to place your button inside your buttonhole. So as I said, this gauge here is allowing you to add your button and just snug it in there like this. So let's start with the small one. See, this very tiny one there, and here you have it. So then attach it. You can also add the button while it's attached. I like to do it before. It's all up to you. I also have a dark thread just to be able to show you how it's going to look like. Okay, so first thing first, so let's try on a white fabric so you can see it. So we are going to, let's say this is our project and we want our button. So this is, let's say, a shirt, and and then you want, so this is your hole here, and this is your button, that where you want it to be attached, your button, right? So for the hole, you want it to be right in front of your button, so when they come together, then you can see, you can attach your button. So let's do that. So another thing I forgot to mention, you can have your buttonhole as vertical or horizontal. It's all up to you. So we can try both. I will show you first vertical, and then we'll work on the horizontal. So where you want to start your button, so first also, it's your button is one of important pieces that you want to make sure you measure it, because see how it is, see how big is your button. See, I draw a line because I know how big it is, right? But you need to measure it because you want to know where to start, because you don't want to end up outside the fabric. So you want to make sure your button, you know the measurement of your button, because once you start the buttonhole, it's going to go, it's computerized, so then it will go outside of your fabric. You don't want this to happen. So make sure you give yourself some room or allowance. So this is my measurement, but let's go, I'll go a little bit down. So let's start from here, just this about here, and then we are going to start from this dot right there. Okay, and now I'm going to attach my button again and just snug it in there, and I will have my green line just in front of this dot that I have there. And then before you do anything, remember, brother, this is model SQ9130. It's a computerized, right? And computer sometimes is not the best thing to deal with, because you just understand instructions, right? So if we start to make our stitch, right, make sure you don't touch the needle, because there's like a sensor. If you touch the needle, you might end up with not very pretty buttonhole. So let's do that. So now I want to go by 34, like I said, or 35. So let's start 35. So okay, and again, these are the size of your stitch, the length between each stitch, and this is how wide you want it. So I'll just leave it as a default. The circle ones is mean the default, right? So let's start that. So now you put your needle down where your dot is, and you start sewing. Oh yeah, oh, another thing I forgot to mention, there is a small hook right there that you need to let it go down. See this one? So you let it go down between the cage. See that there is a small plastic part here and there's another part there. So this leg need to go in between these parts, and we're going to start sewing. So good. Thankfully the computer just let me know that I forgot something. So now we're going to start sewing, and go slow as much as you can. See my sewing, I'm going very slow, on the very slow speed, just to get it as accurate as possible. I can speed up, but I don't want to. And here you are. So you have to wait until it finishes everything, right? So now you put your needle up, and there we have it. So this is how we did the small one for the small button. See that? So now we are going to leave this because we want to attach the button to it and show you the complete project. So once we put the button, we will pretend this is a shirt, right? So this is the button, so the button will go underneath it right there, and then we attach it, right? Another thing I forgot to mention is that you would need to interface any fabric that you or any project, sorry, that you will be using to add a buttonhole. That's why I have this fabric on fold, just to show you an example. It need to be thick, otherwise it will be so loose and it won't be good for doing a buttonhole. I don't recommend doing that without interfacing your fabric before. Another thing you need to make sure to do, I always leave like this long ending, because I intend to add a needle and sew it inside, so this way it can last longer. That's another thing for you to know. Okay, so that's with the small button here. Let's work on the bigger button. So for the bigger button, I got another piece of fabric, and we are going to do the same exact thing. We're going to replace our button. I'm gonna show you here. So we place it between these two, between this cage here, and again the gray foot that comes from the machine need to be between these two plastic pieces, okay? And make sure your button is very snug in between this, in this area, right? And then you attach it to your presser foot. You raise your presser foot up like so, and then you put your the gray foot down, and then I'm gonna go with 35 again, just to, you can change it if you want. I like 35. So again, I forgot to measure. Yeah, so for me, I think I know how this one measures. So see how big it is. So make sure you leave like an allowance for the button. So leave like a sum like that in your project. If you want to go lower, like about 3/4 of an inch or 5/8 of an inch, it all depends on you. I just will, for the purpose of this video, will leave it like this big, like 5/8 of an inch. Yeah, and then I will start sewing from this dot right there. Again, you might want to fold your fabric this way, it gives it some strength. So let's fold our fabric and do that. So for this project, for this first one we did it vertical, so let's do this one horizontal. So for this one to be horizontal, so the machine start from this, go upward, right? So if you want to do that, you wanna make sure it's so you look at it, the difference. So now see, this way is horizontal and this way is vertical, right? And we did it Actually here we did it horizontal, like you see. If you want it vertical, then we would have done it the other way around, right? So the same idea, but you just need to um, incorporate your fabric direction the way you want it. Okay, so let's start. So we are going to do it from the dot like I marked, and just make sure you line this dot with the green dots in the sides. I'm just gonna get this closer, and then put your needle down, and then I will raise the speed a little bit just to show you. Yeah. And here we go. So we got our button, and it looks so pretty. So again, it's a measurement of your pattern itself, and it's a little bit slightly bigger, just how it is. So now if you want to attach the button, we can't do it here because this is too small, but we would have attached the button here, and then this will be like the buttonhole for it. So I'm going to show you how to attach the button. So let's start with this guy again. So for the attaching the button itself, you need a different presser foot. So it's not this one anymore. We're going to use a different one. So it's this one here. It is this one here, and I'm going to give you the very nice trick for you to use this one guy. So this one, you don't need this gray foot right there, you just brace it back. We only need it for the buttonholes, so just attach it to the metal part like the other one. I'm just gonna turn my light on just for you to see. In your back of your machine there is a button in your back right here where you see my hands. You are going to turn this button off. This button it really does is it makes, you see this under the presser foot there's like teeth going back and forth, so we don't want our fabric to move while we are attaching the button. That's what this teeth does, it just move your fabric. That's the one that moves your fabric, right? We don't want it to move my fabric. I want it to stay where it is because I'm attaching a button, right? So in order to attach a button, I'm gonna show you a very neat trick. So first we're gonna pretend that this is a shirt and this is the button right here. So first you need to open this, right? So first of all, you want to be super careful when you use your stitch wrapper. You put it here inside and make sure you get the other end of it from because if you put it in, and you might end up cutting the whole entire thing. So just make sure you stuck it and get it out like that, and here you have it. You have your buttonhole opened. Okay, and again I said I use these extra to sew it inside the button, but I will show you another trick too. Now we want our hole just right below this hole, right? Our button, sorry. So you want to mark you fold your fabric or whatever your project you have, and you make sure you take mark of where is your hole is. See that? So I mark my hole from here. See, now I have like a dot to mark my button. Another thing, when you attach your button, it's going to move from you, I'm sure, no matter what you try. If you hold it tight, that good. So I'm going to show you a trick. I'm gonna get a tape. just any tape you have. I have a clear tape here, so I'm going to show you. Okay, so you are going to attach the button with the tape, just like that. See what I did here? So that secure it in place, so when you are adding your button, it will not move or from the spot that you want it. This way it will be under your buttonhole, right? So now we turn this off, right? And we have our presser foot for the buttons on. You want to make sure your needle is in the right spot. So for this one, you want a different stitch. So you want to go by 46. Why is 46? 46 is basically goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, as if you're sewing a button. So that's a neat trick. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 6. Okay, so now your button is very small, right? So you want to make sure it's different from this one. See, there is a space, there is a different space in between the holes, right? This one have a slightly bigger space, the other one have a little bit tiny space, right? And this guy here that we are going to use is it's also small space in between the two holes. So you want to make sure your needle, you're going to not to break your needle when you are moving. So how can you check that? So you put your presser foot, you try to center the button. You see what I did? Try to center the button between the two blue areas there. See that? Yeah. So once you do this, now we are going to try with manual. You move your needle by your hand and see how it's going to move. Is it went inside the other hole or not? I think it's good, but you might decrease that. So let's see that. And in order to decrease that, you want to go this way. I'll show you. There. With this, you see what I collect here. I remember I told you this is like the position of your needle, right? So you are decreasing it, so it comes a little bit closer from the stitch to another stitch. So I think now it's safe. It's not gonna run into my button and break it and break the needle. So let's do that. I'm going to put it on slow, and we are going to sew our button. So another trick here, see, the machine did not move the fabric. So now I'm going to leave a very long tail because I'm going to sew that tail. I'm gonna add a needle and sew this. Again, I like to tighten my button so it will stay longer. See, now your button did not move. Now we can take the tape out, and here you have it. So another thing, you might even sew it or maybe tie it like I'm gonna show you. So we can tie it like that. There. See, I tied it. So this way, when you bolt this, it won't bolt the whole stitches. And the same thing for the back. You might want to do the same thing for the back as well, just to secure it more. Okay. And another knot. Okay, so let's clean that up. Okay. You want to secure one more knot, it's all up to you. I'm okay with that. And this one, as I said, I normally sew it. I'm just gonna cut it for now just to show you the finished project. So here you have your shirt. So we are going to pretend that we are going to close our shirt. There you go. So we close our shirt. Another trick I want to show you, if you have a clear nail polish, you might want it to add some to your button. I think I have some here. Okay, so some clear nail polish will help it to stay longer as well on your stitch of your button. See, it will dry and it will stay forever. So this is all about buttonholes and how you can use the buttonhole foot, and also the button itself foot. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe, share. Also, I will be doing a giveaways, so make sure to subscribe and leave me a comment, and we will going to pick the winner randomly. So make sure you put your name on the comment so we can send you or contact you when you win. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and see you next time.